Today's Saturday, November 11th, 2023 here in Pacifica, California. 12 miles south of San Francisco. Yo, Pinkman's style. Let me take a real quick sip. Temperature 50 to 66. It's getting pretty cold outdoors. That's 10 degrees Celsius, 18 degrees Celsius high. Oh yeah, the best beer of the day is I am in the garage today. I did a lot of stuff like Medaka style. Let me see. Today, this is just a rack that I have a whole bunch of Daiso goods and containers. Bunch of containers that I buy. Daiso from Japan, dollar, all that stuff. But it's a rack. I had to set up a rack. And these are BlueGularis fry. But before I get into the BlueGularis, the metal Medaka today is all you Medaka metal heads, Medaka heads out there. But let me just reach out for something over here. Ooh, look at this. This is a October 1990 Warnie Martini of Rat, man. Young Guitar Magazine. This was my Bible growing up. I have all these magazines here in the garage. So during the day, before I get into the BlueGularis, during the day, right now is the time for me. It's the last water change of the year. Before it gets too cold, what I do is I do a complete water change, meaning 100% water change. All the tubs outdoors, I'll dump out and I'll just put brand spanking new fresh water. Slowly introduce all the Medakas that I have outside. And that's it. They're not gonna, I may have to add water if it evaporates, but aside from that, I'm not gonna change any water. They're not gonna be moving around anyways. When it's cold, they're just gonna be chillaxing. So it's been a pretty busy day for me. On top of that, I'll probably, I haven't done a video of the Medakas outdoors for a while, so I will do that tomorrow. But today, the other thing I really needed to tend to was the BlueGularis fry are growing. They're pretty much the same family, right? The killifish. And I had these fries indoors, and some of them grew, and some of them got eaten, disappeared. It's my first time with the BlueGularis, and I'm learning a lot. Like for this batch over here, I had about 50 eggs, collected about 20, no, probably like 25 fry, and day after day they were just disappearing. And some of them are aggressive, meaning they'll pick on the smaller ones and they basically devour them. They just kill them. So what I've been doing indoors is trying to separate them by the size, so they're, you know, depending on how they are growing, I put the larger ones in one, the smaller ones in the other, the medium size in the other, and all that stuff. But it's taking up way too much space, and the whole idea of the Medaka was for me to get rid of indoor aquariums per se and enjoy the fish outdoors. So long story short, let me take a real quick sip. I decided to set, I had this rack already. These are grow lights. These are plant grow lights. So I had this I had these 2.5 gallon aquamelon tanks over here. So I'm slowly going to bring the BlueGularis fry into the garage. It's not heated or anything, but I do have the walls insulated. Currently, the temperature is 67.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, 17 degrees Celsius or something like that. I have these set, so I actually have these like plastic, I don't know, table covers to create this kind of, I don't know, a greenhouse kind of thing to keep the heat in. During the day, they'll have this light. I also have this fan circulating, so you have the warmer heat goes. Just trying to circulate the flow, yo. Pigman style. I miss Breaking Bad. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but so I had the BlueGularis fry. The larger ones over here. This large one over here, I don't even know how to sex them yet. They are too small. If you can sex them at this age, please tell me. But this one's pretty aggressive, in my opinion. So I have been keeping him or her alone indoors, but since I don't have enough containers in here, I brought all the large ones into here. And I put the two small ones over here, which they are going to end up in a separate tank. The tank's 2.5 gallon, I think, alkaline. I have filters. That filter I've been using indoors, so I just threw it in here. It'll have all the beneficial bacteria and all that stuff. And then I just threw the subswaster tank for in case the big one starts chasing the smaller ones, at least they could hide ramshorn. For this one over here, I didn't have another small enough filter, so I have this tiny mini sponge filter from Aquarium Co-op. Since it's brand spanking new, I have an old sponge that I use, a dual sponge filter. I just grabbed in here, and that should be enough for the beneficial bacteria and all that stuff for them. So just acclimating. They're just gonna go in here. The temperature is pretty much the same, so I'm not really worried about that. We'll see. Hopefully this large one over here that I put doesn't pick on the other ones and just like chew them up and kill them. I was thinking about putting the larger one in its own container, which I may do tomorrow. I'll see how they interact once I release them, and if I see the larger one like picking on the other ones and all that, I will remove the larger one into its own container, and you just have more and more containers, which is something I want to avoid. I don't know if you could even see, but they are growing. I just can't sex them yet. I just don't know enough about the BlueGularis and all that, but they are beautiful, man. Man, I don't know what I'm saying, but all you Medaka heads out there. So I don't know if you're here trying to get information about Medakas and see Medakas. I do Medakas, I love Medakas, but I do stuff on the side just because I want to learn. Certain things like intrigue me, wanting to learn more about how to grow or breed certain species. And BlueGularis is something that caught my eye a couple of years ago. I never, until this year, had a chance to actually get a pair. So. All right, and then I'll also talk about the red cliffs that I have indoors. I have all the fries and all that stuff, and the midnight frills. I'll tell you a sad story about those guys. Boys and girls, I have one boy left. No, I take it back. I don't even have a boy left. I have one female left. I don't know, but that's how it goes. I'll just take a real quick sip. I have been getting a lot of questions about food for Medakas during the winter and all that stuff, and what I've been saying is that during the winter, you want to look for food that has low protein, low fats. Low protein being about, instead of being 50%, look for something that's in the 30s. Fat, instead of the double digits, look for something in the single digits. This is everything that I've been taught from breeders from Japan. It's just that it takes so much energy to break down protein and fats, although they are very nutritious, and you want to avoid giving them too much so they could utilize the energy that they have during the winter, colder months elsewhere instead of trying to digest and all that. And when it gets too cold, stop feeding them completely anyway. So one other thing, I don't even know if 2.5 pipe. I just have a splitter over here, a grow light. This is what I happen to have, so this should be enough. The air source over here is Ply. I don't even know what the brand is, but I just hooked this sucker up right here. This same model is sold as 2 different brands, I think, but they're the exact same thing. I got this on Cyber Monday or something like that. First time opening it up from the box, utilizing it, and seems to be working fine. So we'll see. If it fails, it fails. Lesson learned, like everything else. Let me just take a real quick sip. I really like these boys and girls, though. It's cool to be like just hooked on one thing, like Medakas, but then when you find something else, it's sharp. It sharpens your eyes, per se. Meaning, you really start learning about their behavior, how different they are, what different techniques you have to have rolled up your sleeves based on how they react to each other. Like I said, and I started with like almost 20. By that time I knew they're down to these, right? So, and they weren't just dying, they were just getting picked on and killed, basically. So I don't know, maybe I'll end up with one, but it's a start. It's fun. Oh yeah. All right, so thank you, domo arigato again for tuning in. It's not Medaka. I'll try to do a Medaka focused one tomorrow. Just what I have outdoors. I did 90% of the water change, and they are no longer in green water and all that stuff. And then I also have some fry going on indoors, the Red Cliffs, bunch of fry. We'll see where that goes. I really do not like growing Medakas or anything indoors with a heater, but it is a requirement just because of the temperature right now, the timing, and then the type of lineage. Wide fins, long fins, etc. You need the temperature for the tails to grow properly, or even to get them to do the mating dance and all that stuff. Not the mating dance, but for the females to release their hormones to entice the males to get ready for action. And it's all about having enough light, 14-15 hours, and then having the right temperature. So they're pretty picky. So, right. Thank you. Domo arigato. MedakaMetal is where I could be found on Instagram at MedakaMetal. DM and all that. I will respond to every single one, every single question. If I don't know the answer, I will say I just don't know. But so far, so good. People have been telling me how their collection is growing in Medaka and all that stuff all over the world, in England, Australia, everywhere. So what I personally would like is to hear from people that are like, that have dealt with BlueGularis, and I would love to learn more about these boys and girls. I just know that keep them separated now, yeah, offspring style, because they will pick on each other and kill each other, and the amount of containers that you kind of need if you want to avoid that. So stuff like that, if somebody could educate me on that, instead of doing it tomorrow, since the temperature is pretty much the same, the waters should be okay. I'm just going to throw them in the tank. There's two of the smaller guys in here. I'll have to scrape. Let me grab the ram's horn. It's always like that with ram's horn. They like to stick, but you know that they're alive. Symbiotic relationship, man. Ram's horn. They eat the poop of the BlueGularis or the Medaka, and they break it down into a less toxic poop. Alright, let's scrape these guys up. Alright, so they're in there. Alright. They should be fine. Couple things that I'll be again, it's in the garage, it's not heated, it's insulated. Hopefully it doesn't get too cold. There's no heater or anything in here, and I just have to make sure that the larger one doesn't start attacking or eating or killing the smaller one. So all right, we'll do it again next time. I think I'll do another one tomorrow. So domo arigato. All you Medaka heads out there. We'll talk Medaka tomorrow. Alright, so from the garage, 12 miles south of San Francisco, here in Pacifica, California. We'll take a real quick slip. Oh yeah, we'll do it again. All you Medaka heads. Medaka, BlueGularis style. All right,